They can be better helpmates, better on their jobs, or whatever they do, they can be more effective. But if we don't teach them here with teaching communication skills, we're not going to succeed.
Yeah, I want to go along with what you said about the men of the church. Life to me is like an onion. And what I mean by onions, they have layers. And to get really deep down into it, you got to peel the layers back.
Very good.
It's not just going to like poof, blow up.
Right.
You have to peel it back little by little. And sometimes as men, when you peel back the onion layer, something's going to come out.
Yes.
And we got to realize as men, it's okay to cry.
Yes.
It's okay to hurt.
Yes.
As men, we absolutely need to communicate with each other. Communication is the key. If we don't have communication, like Brother Dwight said, within ourselves, how are we going to try to help somebody else?
That's right.
We can't, because we're hurting inside and we're not letting it out.
That's right.
And if we do let it out, it's through violence.
That's right. That's correct. Alpha. Well, let's move on. Traumatic events in a man's life can shape his future and the way he relates to others. Maybe y'all can dive in on that. I'll just sit back and let y'all go, and I'll come back at the end.
I think as far as trauma events can shape a man's life in his future, I believe so, because again, it goes back. I'm gonna stick to as far as his gangs, because I'm a former gang leader. Saved male, didn't have a positive male role model. So he stayed into the environment where he's seen or what he's used to, which it may be gangs. Right. So then his trauma was he didn't have his father. Absolutely. So his trauma was to stay in the gang. Yes. And after that, to continue to stay in the gang, he didn't set no goals, no standards, no values for himself to be something even better. That's right. And or you have some people who finally was lucky to get the support from a program that they really needed and used those traumas event to become even greater. Like for myself, I'm a former gang leader. I experienced different adversities. I want to echo what Tyrone said. I learned from trial and error myself also too. But the thing is, I experienced a lot of trauma events, but I'm using those negative situations to become positive, to teach other males, let them know that there is an outlet, there is a way. You can get out of the game. Just make goals, set goals higher, set standards that people think that's impossible and reach towards it. At the end of the day, you in charge of your own destiny. That's right. You're in charge of your own success and who you want to be in life. It depends on how much they're ambitious, the accountability that individual have of getting over those trauma events and keep moving forward. You can be two kinds of people. You can be the first person either let the trauma event conceal you, keep you captive. That's right. Or you can be that second person to use those trauma events to say, hey, I'm sick of this situation. I don't want to be here no more. I want to help. Yes. I don't want to be here. I want something better for myself. And when I have kids, I want them not to go through the same thing that I went through also too. Absolutely. Okay.
Yeah, traumatic events. I've had a lot of traumatic events in my life. I'm going to go ahead and share with you a few of them. When I was younger, I was sexually molested by my mom and her boyfriend. When I was growing up, it was in a fight or flight mode. What I mean by that is me and my brother, we had to go and steal from other people just so we could eat. So, as Brother Dwight and Brother Tyrone said, it's a trial and error. Yes. Because when I was growing up, I had a lot of personal issues. I didn't like school. I hated school. I ended up getting bad grades and kept getting suspended in ISS and all that. To make matters worse, I ended up doing something stupid and got kicked out of my mom's house. So with me being kicked out of my mom's house, it was like, wait a minute, she doesn't want me. Like, yeah, you really just abandoned me. So to me, I had to find that core within me to, how can I put it, I had to find my flow. What I mean by that is I had to find my own way. Through trial and error, yeah, I've had a lot of ups and downs throughout my life, and I'm still struggling. I have PTSD, which is post-traumatic stress disorder. And every day I have flashbacks to what happened when I was a kid. I'm still struggling with that. But my goal is to help y'all to understand that it's okay to have emotions. It's okay to have mental disorders. Yeah, they try to single us out and all that. But really, we are our brother's keeper, which means we always have to be there for each other, no matter what. Like Tyrone said, there's been a million nights when I called him not knowing what to do. Because I was in a place like I really didn't know what to do. It was either, I was in a fight or flight mode at that point, which means I would end up doing something stupid if it wasn't for Brother Tyrone talking to me as a man. He wasn't trying to talk to me as a kid. Because me, I'm being as an adult at 22 years old, it's time to man up. It's time to take responsibility for your actions. Like the great poem, it's not a poem, it's a saying. If you fail, try again. Because you can do it, it's all up here. You got to set your mind to it. Like Brother Dwight said, it's a goal. Set standards for yourself. And every day, as you reach that standard, go beyond that standard. Do what you know is best. And don't fall on the negative. Yeah, me and Brother Dwight and Tyrone have all been through things. Especially hardships. I lost my grandfather when I was 17, and it still affects me to this day because I did not get to go to his funeral because I was locked up for something stupid that I did.
Powerful words. It just touches me just to hear these young men talk and to be able to express themselves the way they are. And I think, and I hope and pray that this thing, what they are saying, are touching you and helping you in some way that you'll be able to come out of your shell. And if there's women out there that's listening to the broadcast, that you can relate this to your grandchildren or your children or your husband or boyfriend or whoever it is, to listen to this, because it's going to help them. It's going to help you to make you have a better effective family and maybe a better life for them as well. Traumatic events, it does shape you. And I've had some traumatic events in my life, and I'm not going to get real deep into it tonight because of the time parameters that we have on the broadcast tonight. But I lost my mother when I was very, very young. Did not know her. She died when I was 2 years old. Really never knew my father. My grandmother, back during the 60s, I'm a little older now, I'm in my 50s now. My grandmother, I was living in Newark, New Jersey at the time, and during that time, the riots were going on. If you heard of the Los Angeles riots, the riots that I think was in the Midwest, as well as the Newark riots, our house got burned down during those riots that was happening right after King got killed. During that time, this and all this stuff was going on. My grandmother took me and, kept me after my mother died when I was, like I said, very young. She died when I was 2 years old. And I lived with my grandmother for a while, maybe about 3 or 4 years. And one morning, my brother was upstairs, and my grandmother said, well, I'm going upstairs to tell your brother to get up so he can go to work. She comes downstairs, sits in the chair, and she dies. Right there while I'm sitting on the bed. After that, I moved with my aunt, which is my mother's sister, and this hurts me to this day because I miss not having a mother to talk to, brothers. It hurts me. It really does. It hurts me because I have no outlet to go to. Yeah, you got other family members around, got married and all that, but that's something that really, really hurts me to this day because I don't have that outlet. A mother is very important, and I want to stress, if you do have a mother, take care of your mother and love your mother. A lot of us didn't grow up with fathers. Then after my aunt took over, up until about the 6th or 7th grade, she, my sister and I call my sister, well, she was my cousin, but we grew up as brothers and sisters. One morning, my mother, I call my mother, she didn't wake us up to go to school, so I figured I had a day off from school. I was enjoying myself, stay in the house, go downstairs, give me some cereal and chill out. And for some reason, my mother's light was still left on because the night before, they had gave my brother a birthday party. And he was in his 20s, he's like 10 years older than me. And my sister finally got up, and the gentleman that lived down the street from us at the time had shut his car, hood on his car, and it shut, and it was real loud, and it was a big bang. So she went into my mother's room, and she never got to bed that night. we found her dead in between the radiator and the bed. All this stuff, all these traumatic things that I'm telling y'all has affected me. That's why I guess I try to protect myself and just to try to be by myself. Because I feel more safer by myself than around a lot of people. But MSF, when God told me to start this organization, I felt this would not only help the brothers, but it would help me too. Because now I'm able to express myself to y'all brothers and let you know how much I love you. And each morning, I tell you, each morning I will text them and say, good morning, brother, I love you, have a great day. Because if I cannot show my fellow brothers and these young men how to love, how can they teach their children and people around them how to love? So these things have affected me, yes, they have, but I have found comfort in these men that are here with me and supporting the organization. Yes, we have been through some struggles here, but we're going to continue to press on because I think the Trauma Network is something that we all need and be able to come together and learn how to talk with one another. Now, as boys, we are taught as boys at an early age, and we talked about this a little bit earlier, how to suppress our feelings. Boys don't cry. We went through all of that. How do you feel about that, Brother Dwight?
When I hear the situation, when they say men or boys don't cry, I think that's the first step of teaching. It goes back to a little bit what we were talking about earlier, that it's like when a young boy falls or get hurt. Don't cry, you're a boy, toughen up. I think by society being on our back as men, then we don't supposed to cry when we experience hurtful things or encounter hurtful things. That they think we're some type of robot.
That's right. That's right.
And the backfire of that that event that they said that men don't need to cry, boys don't cry, that male is committing mostly of all the crimes throughout the United States, period. And that's because society say men don't do this, men don't cry, boys don't cry, holding your feelings. When you hold in something for so long, it's only for so long that it's going to be able to hold.
Exactly.
And after I can use an example, say an event happened to you 3 years ago. You've been holding it in for so long, something small can trigger that trauma event that you experienced prior years ago of that present day. Then you lash out full force on that particular small thing, and people say, I don't understand what's going on here. He got issues. The issue was telling that lie, that stereotype that men don't cry. We need to cry.
That's right. Absolutely.
We were born to conquer. We're aggressive. We're supposed to lead our family, but we also supposed to take care of ourselves.
That's right.
We again goes back to what I said a little earlier. We have to be in tune with our emotional intelligence.
That's right.
So being able to release your feelings or your hurt when you're going through, it's a burden. It's like a big burden off as far as from a male perception. The women's, again, this echo what Brother Josh was saying, they call their girlfriend when they call get on the phone quick. Did you free? Yeah, I'm free. Girl, this way I be on the phone for hours and the next day.
That's right.
It's over. They done. They not stressing the situation or putting a rug on it. They addressing the situation. Sometimes when there's an adversity or there's a situation going on, sometimes you just have to go through the fire.
Absolutely.
To overcome the situation.
Brother John's last words.
Can you repeat the question?
Basically, we have been taught as young boys how to suppress our feelings. How do you feel that has affected you and the society in which we live?
I'm gonna go off the limb here. I would say it's partly stereotype.
Sure.
Because, like you said, we're trained not to cry and all that. But like when we're by ourselves and we don't know what to do, and we're thinking on like what's next. Some of us men just break down. We hit the rock bottom. Then we go to like we get really depressed. We'll go to drugs to suppress the feelings. But in all actuality, the drugs, it's gonna make you feel good for a minute. But when you come off, the problem's still there. And sometimes it gets even worse because now you have your family looking at you like you're a drug addict. They don't want to be around you. They don't want to give you money because they know what you're going to go spend it on. So, as men, we need to learn to talk because I can't force this enough. Like Brother Dwight said, 94% of all the crimes are committed by men. Why? Because we don't know how to communicate. We need to really reboot our systems. Reboot. Learn it over again.
That's right.
We need to learn how to, as a man, this is not okay. As a boy, growing up, you need to teach them what is wrong and what is right. As a young boy, that's where you learn most of the stuff that you're going to need for your adult life. If you don't have that mother or father figure in your life, how is somebody else going to raise you? Like Brother Tyrone said, what makes a man? It has to be bestowed upon you. You cannot become a man unless you've been trained by a man or by a company of men how to act as a man. Because as a boy, you learn how to get along in life. But the way you talk, you may be raised by a woman or a female. The female doesn't understand what you're going through like men do, because society has told us it is not okay to release our feelings. But as I'm here as a young man, I'm only 22, that I cry all the time. I do, because I've been hurt. I've had traumatic experience. I felt abandonment. So we need, as men, and I'm glad God gave Tyrone this vision, because I think it's so important that we need to come together.
All right. Well, we thank Brother Josh and Brother Dwight for being a part of the broadcast tonight. We hope that you have got something out of this. And this is not the last. We will be doing our weekly tapings every week. And we'll be on the air. We'll have it on our YouTube broadcast, the Trauma Network for Men, probably this weekend, so check it out. Also, we do have a hotline number. If you know of a man in your life that needs to talk, and he's not going, and he feels that he don't have to be condemned, and we'll be there for him, we have a number that you can call at 919-717-5820. Everything is confidential. You can call, we can talk, and get that man to start talking so he can feel better about himself and the things that he's doing. We thank you so very much for tuning in to the MSF Trauma Network for Men. We look forward to talking to you next time, and we always want you to remember, even strong men struggle.